Hey friends, so today we're going to do our last part of topic 10, and it's really just about noticing some patterns in different types of addition problems. So of course I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. There we go, and here we go. And of course we're going to start with our solve and share. I would suggest that you pause and try to solve it yourself and see if you get the same answer. I'm sure you would. So this is our solve and share for today. And it says, solve these problems any way you choose. Explain patterns you see. So I'm going to get my pen. Which one do I want to do? What strategy do I want to do? Well, I think I'll do, I'm trying to make this good so where you guys can. I'll just do number line. How about that? I'll do number line for this one, and then I'll do partial sums for this one. Yeah, let's do that. So I feel like I need more space than that. So I'm going to go ahead and get my little pen and I'm going to draw my number line. And I'm going to start with the number 63 on this side. And of course, I'm going to do one hop, but of what? Well, I have two 10s. So I know that I could do a hop of plus 10 and another hop of plus 10 because there's two 10s, right? Plus 10. And so 63 plus 10 is 73. 73 plus 10 is 83. And I'm not done here. I still have to do my ones. I have 8 ones. So I'm going to do, how do I want to break apart that number? What would be easiest? 83. I think I'll do a hop, 2 hops. One of plus 7. That looks weird. And one of plus 1. Okay, it'll still be a 8, but I'm just separating the 8 into 7 and 1 just because it's easier. So 83 plus 7, think about it. It's 90. Then 90 plus 1 is 91. So my answer is 91. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and do my partial sums. I need more space than that. Here's my eraser. I'm going to go ahead and do my partial sums. So I'm going to do it out here just so I have more space. HTO. And I'm going to draw my little table, draw my lines. And this time I want to see if you guys can keep up with it without me writing out my equations. This is how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it in your head. So of course I have to put 263 and 128. And this time we're gonna do it the way Pearson tells us to do it. We're gonna start with our ones. Remember how I tell you we always start with our ones? So we're gonna do it with ones this way too. I know we've been doing it HTO in the beginning, that's how they taught us, but this time they want us to do it the other way around because in the future when you guys get like smarter and smarter, you're gonna always realize, oh, I always have to start with my ones. So in this strategy, start with your ones too, okay? So I have 8 ones and 3 ones. What's 8 ones plus 3 ones? Well, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm just gonna write 11 here. See how I'm doing it in my head? I'm not drawing anything else. But if it helps you, you can, but I'm just showing you how to do it in your head. So 6 10s plus 2 10s, okay? 60, right, plus 20. 60 plus 20 is 80. Of course, draw your line here. That looks, I'm sorry for the sloppy. I know it's sloppy. All right, and then 200s plus 100, which is 200 plus 100 is 300. Okay, so then I know I don't have space, so I'm gonna just write my answer like over here. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 8 is 9, plus 0 is still 9. And then obviously it's just 3. 300 91. Do you guys notice anything that's the same with the answer we got here and the answer we got here? Right. So their tens and ones are the same. The only difference is this number has a number in the hundreds place, but this number does not. So today we're going to keep talking about those interesting patterns we see in different types of equations, but how they're similar and yet how they are the same. So just remember, always start with your ones place in these type of strategies, okay? So that is the solver share, excuse me. And we're going to go ahead and go into our visual learning for today. You can check your weight as you add these lists. So 46 to 24, start at 24. 136 to 324, start at 324. 100. So notice that they still did the same thing. They did their hop starting with the biggest place value and got to their answer. Now, do you guys notice a similarity with these answers? I do. I noticed that this has a number in the hundreds place. This does not. And I also noticed that their tens and ones place are the same. It has the same 6 and the same 0. Is the same. 24 plus 46 equals 324 plus 136 equals 160. What's the difference? Well, we already talked about what we noticed was the same. But let's talk about the work itself in these hops. What do you notice in these hops? Add 106. No, because this one did not do a hop of hundreds because there's nothing in the hundreds place. But they do both have a hop of plus 30 and a hop of plus 6, so it has to be this one. You would have 30 and 6. So use partial sums. 5 and 6 equals 10. 20 plus 30 equals 50. 300 plus 100 equals 100. Okay. You added the same as to ones and tens to tens. 24 plus 36 equals 60. 324 plus 136 equals 560. All right, so as you can see, they did basically kind of like the same thing I kind of explained with the solve and share. So let's go ahead and practice this. Let's see what some common things are in these equations. So I have these two equations here. 34 plus 22 and 134 plus 322. So the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to solve them separately, you know. Let's see. I need to change so we're going to split this down in half so we don't get confused. And I'm going to change my color. I think I'm going to do partial sums for both just because I think that's the one we need to see most of. So remember, we learned partial sums where we start with the hundreds, right? But now we're getting bigger and smarter. So we're going to start talking about, we need to start with our ones place. It's important we start with our ones. Like when we do our place value blocks, we always start with the ones, and with partial sums, always start with your ones, starting now. Always start with your ones, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my H, I'm going to draw my T, and I'm going to draw my O. I know this looks very sloppy, but bear with me here. So I'm going to put my number 34, so 3 tens, obviously, and 4 ones. We have no hundreds in any of these numbers. Then we have 22. And oops, sorry, but yeah. then we're gonna do that. So then I'm gonna change my pen color and I'm gonna go ahead and start adding, starting with our ones. 4 plus 2, 4 ones plus 2 ones is 6. So I'm just gonna put the number 6. And that's it for the ones. Now we can go ahead and do our tens. Remember, 3 tenths and 2 tenths, right? 3 tenths is 30, 2 tenths is 20. So remember, 3 tenths is 30, 2 tenths is 20. 30 plus 20 is 50. Okay, now I'm going to draw my line. Well, there's no hundred, so I can go ahead and finish this up, right? So 6 plus 0 is 6, and obviously it's just 5, so 5. So my answer is 56. Okay, notice what I did. I started with my ones and I added 4 plus 2 to get to 6. Then I went to my tens and did 30 plus 20 to get 50. Then I added my partial sums to get 56. All right, so we're going to do the same thing, but now we actually have a number in the hundreds place. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do this, my smarty pants second graders. I do encourage you to try this on your own and see if you can kind of get the same answers as me. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my numbers into my chart. 134, 34, and 322. All right. Then I'm going to draw my line, show my addition sign. All right, remember, we're going to start with our ones. I'm going to change my color so we can see the difference. Remember, ones. So 4 plus 2 is 6. Oh, I'm already noticing similarities here. Then we have 3 tens, which is the same as 30, and 2 tens, which is the same as 20. And 30 plus 20 is simply what? I'm going to change my colors real quick. It is simply 50. All right, I'm going to draw my little line over here so I can do my hundreds. Okay, I'm going to change my color. So then I have 100, remember, 2 zeros, and 300. 100 plus 300 is 400. Now I can add up my partial sums. Here is 6 plus 0, which is just 6. 5 plus 0 is 5, and it's just 4. 456. So this is my answer. So let's compare our two answers, right? What is the same here? What is the same? I'm going to give you a minute to think about it. What's the same and what's different? Well, I'm going to tell you the answer. If you said that they both have the same the same value in the tens and ones, and that you had to solve the same way for your tens and ones, you're correct. Yes, nothing changed about that. The only thing that was different is we had a number in the place value for hundreds in this one, right? So we still have the same tens and we still have the same ones. We just have a different value for the hundreds place. And that's really it for today. Let's see. So that's your practice for today. Tomorrow you will have a test, so please take this time seriously to do your work and practice. I have no doubts you guys are smarty pants second graders, and this is super fun to me and super easy, and I'm sure you'll find it the same way. So remember the new rule for today. I know in past lessons we said with the partial sum strategy to start with your hundreds, but now Pearson's like, you guys are smarty pants second graders. We're going to do our ones now and start doing it a lot more in our heads. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. Always start with your ones place, okay? In partial sums and place value blocks, start with your ones and try to do it in your head, okay? It's pretty easy to try to do it in your head. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.